So hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how this hover over this timeline and the preview logic works. In the previous video of the YouTube streaming part, I have shown you how the actual YouTube streaming works, but this video will be different because if you remember in that previous video I have given a little bit glimpse about this part also, but I haven't explained in much detail because this topic is in itself a very complex and detailed topic to be understood. So in this video I'll be showing you how this hovering over the timeline part works. So what actually YouTube does is, because this is a complex thing, you can like if you have a video of a 5-minute length, so you can't call like it will be having like 300 seconds, right? So for each and every second you can't call an API, your server will be getting heavily loaded. So what actually YouTube does is, so let me just like show you in my networks tab. Yes, so if you hover over this timeline, you got one thumb sprite dash 001.jpg. So this sprite image is nothing but grid of images which will be the previews of this timeline when you hover over it. So what you can do is, or what actually YouTube does is, when you get the first API call, so it doesn't give you the one image only. Instead, it gives you one entire grid of one image which will be carrying multiple images. So in this you can understand, I have called an API to get my single image, but it has not only given that particular single image. Instead, it has given me 25 images. So for next 25 parts, I don't need to call an API. I can just extract images from here. So if you just hover over this again, so after some time you can see that my image is changing, but my API is not getting called. I am extracting those images from this particular sprite only. So if you just hover it more, you will after some time get sprite 002 also. So you get 002 here. If you hover more, you get sprite 003, sprite 004. So in this video I'll be demonstrating how this sprite image is being generated, how it comes to know that at this particular point this particular image is going to be extracted, how this entire thing works, the mathematical calculation behind this. I'll be showing you that. So let us see in the whiteboard explanation, because it will be very complex to understand in terms of code. So I have already written the entire calculation for you so that it is easier to understand. So let us see the calculation, how this particular thing works. So first of all, this is the basic commands or the options that you need to set in your FFmpeg options. So first thing is the FPS, second is scale, and third is style. Tile is nothing but the grid size that you want to give. In my case it was 5x5, so I have given 5x5. Now the FPS is what? FPS is nothing, in this case it is 1/2. You can see it is 1/2. So what is this FPS? It is nothing but for every 2 seconds you need to generate one thumbnail. Now in this my demo case, I haven't taken for every 1 second one thumbnail. Instead I have taken for 2 seconds one thumbnail. So you can set it according to your choice as well. In this case I have taken for every 2 seconds one thumbnail will be generated. So in total how many thumbnails will be generated? If we have a video duration, if you see the video duration, I think it was, yeah, it is 6 minutes 45 seconds. So if you calculate it in seconds, the total duration will be coming out to be 405 seconds. So how many total thumbnails will be getting generated? If it would be 1 per second, it would be obviously the total duration. But since we are taking for every 2 seconds, it will be nothing but the seal value of 405/2. That is nothing but 203. So in total we'll be getting 203 thumbnails. Now tile is nothing but the grid size. So there will be 25 images per sprite. Now this sprite is nothing but the grid. We are calling it sprite. So in total how many sprites will be created, or how many grids will be created? Obviously we'll be dividing it by 25, the total number of thumbnails. So total number of thumbnails is 203, and in each grid we can have how many? 25 number of images. So in total how many files will be created? Total 9 files will be created, and that will be nothing but thumb sprite 001 up till 009. And you can see in this part also it is thumb sprite 001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And then there is one VTT file. I'll show you what is this VTT file, but yeah, just carry on with the calculation part. So till now we have calculated how many files will be created, what will be the total number of thumbnails and all that. There is also one more thing, the size of the thumbnail. Now if you can see, there is another field, scale, that is 320 cross -1. You can obviously give this like default static value as well as you have given for the 320, and if you will not give a static value, if you give -1, so it will like by default take 180 so as to maintain the 16:9 aspect ratio. So in this case our like width will be, or the thumbnail size will be, width equal to 320 and height equal to 180. We have given -1, so it has taken by default 180 to maintain the 16:9 aspect ratio. Now the most important thing, now we have calculated how many files will be created and all of that, but the most important thing is the mapping. For what second we will be getting what image. So this mapping we need to understand it very carefully. So index is to time mapping. So what FFmpeg does is, how many images are there? There are total 203 images. So FFmpeg generates index for each and every file. So there will be total 0 to 202 index which will be getting. This is done by FFmpeg. We don't need to care about that. So for every index I we are talking about the global index which is generated by FFmpeg. We will be taking two indexes. One the global index generated by FFmpeg, and the other one is the index which is inside the sprite. You know, sprite size is 25 cross 25. So each of the sprite can have index from 0 to 24. So the local index is just that, inside the sprite what index it is. So let's say if you want to generate this, if you want to get this particular thumbnail, so how will we get that? So you can see I have written the global index here as 31. So first we need to calculate at what time we need to get this particular image. So we'll calculate the start time and the end time. So start time will be nothing but I cross 2 and end time will be I plus 1 cross 2, because we are taking the gap of 2. So the start time will be nothing but 62 seconds and the end time would be 64 seconds. So within 62 to 64 seconds, whenever we hover in the timeline and we get to a point where our cursor is between 62 seconds to 64 seconds, this particular image will be shown. So we have calculated the time, but how will we calculate the position and all of that to extract this particular image? So now we will see that part. So we have the global index 31 here, we have the start time, we have the end time, but in what file, in what sprite file this particular section image is there? So first we'll calculate in what file it is present. So for that we'll be having a global index 31. So in each sprite there will be total 25 images. So can't we just divide it by 25 to get the file number, right? So in this case it will be 1, but we will add 1 because we are taking files from 1 to 9, not from 0 to 8. So we are not taking 0 based indexing, that's why we'll be doing plus 1 to 8. So in this case, if you do 31 by 25 plus 1, you will be getting our answer as 2. So our index or this particular image will be present in the second file, or the thumb sprite 002.jpg. So we have calculated the time, we have calculated in what file it is present. Now we need to calculate its local index and the coordinates at which it is present. Then we are good to go to extract the particular thumbnail. So first we'll calculate the local index. Now again, if we have 25 images in one grid and we have the global index, can't we just get the remainder by dividing it by 25 to get the local index, right? We will do the same. So if you mod I or the global index by 25, you will get 6, which will be the local index. Now if you see, this is the local index 6, the white color. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yes, it is the 6th image. We have calculated correctly. So inside sprite 2, at the 6th index, we have the file which we need to extract, or we have the image which we need to extract. Now, but how will we extract if we don't have the exact x and y coordinates? Because we have the height, we have the width, we have the file, we have the exact, like the index in which it is present, but we still need x and y coordinates to start. We need some point to start with to extract the image. So we need that particular point. So we will now calculate that particular point. In order to calculate that particular point, we first need to mark the rows and columns. So these are the rows and these are the columns. So 0 to 4, 0 to 4, because 5 cross 5, so all that thing. So in which row it is present? We know it is present at 1 comma 1. So how will we calculate? Simply divide by 5 and mod by 5. Simple mathematics you have solved like in some problems as well in the DSA. So to get the row, we'll just divide it by 5, and for the column we will mod it by 5. So we'll get 1 comma 1, and you can see it is present at 1 comma 1 only. Now the most important part, how we'll be getting this particular coordinate in order to extract the image. Now this coordinate is nothing but 0 in x and 0 in y. So we know that its height is 180 and its width is 320. So this point will be nothing but 320 comma 0, and this particular point will be nothing but what you can say 0 comma 180, right? So what point it should be, this particular so let me just write it with some other pen. Yes, so at what point this should be present? We will again add this 320 to it, so it will be nothing but it was 0 comma 180, so here it will be 320 comma 180. So our x should be 320 and our y should be 180. Then we are good to go. So how will we calculate x? The column multiplied by 320 and row multiplied by 180. So we'll be getting 320 and 180. So finally we can say that at this particular point, that is 320 comma 180, if you go down by 180, if you go right by 320, then we have this particular entire image to be extracted. Now we have the file in which this image is present. Now we have the local index which is at which it is present. We have the row, we have the column, and we also have the exact coordinates along with height and width which we have defined in the FFmpeg settings. Now we are good to extract this particular image, because we now have each and every detail to extract this image. We have this x coordinate, we have this y coordinate, we have this width, we have this height, we have this file. Also we have the start time and the end time. So we have extracted all these things, and now we are good to extract this particular image. So in this, can't you say that when you have 0, 0, or you can say when you have 1 minute and 2 seconds, or till the end you have 1 minute 4 seconds, this is nothing but 62 seconds, this is nothing but 64 seconds. So within this range you need to extract this particular JPG, and within this JPG you need to extract this particular image coordinate. So this is nothing but what we have calculated, 320 180, and this 320 and 180 is the height and width, or the scale value that we have defined in the FFmpeg settings. So this is the actual file that we are getting. So is it correct or not? So let us check in the code part as well, is it correct or not? So it is getting in the VTT file. So we'll check whether at the 1 minute 2 second to 1 minute 4 second. So this is the part 1 minute 2 second, 1 minute 4 second. So sprite image is 2, which is correct. X is 320, which is correct. Y is 320, which is correct. And this will be the default 320 and 180. So we have calculated this correctly. So now we can say that okay, we can extract this particular image whenever we are at this particular timestamp, because we now have the x coordinate, y coordinate, the file name, also the height width to be extracted. So we can say that this is how this entire FFmpeg thing works. Now what is this VTT file? So browser gets this VTT file. So whenever you hover over the particular timestamp, it goes to the browser just gets that particular file, gets the coordinates, and in the front end with the help of these coordinates you just extract that particular image. So this is how simply it is done. So I hope you understood this entire explanation. It took me a lot of time to calculate all these things and to understand this particular entire concept. So I hope you understand this part. Thank you for watching.